Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from Bazaar of Moxen, Annecy. Pierre Canali to my right. It's Riley Knight in the booth along with him. And we do apologise for the interruption. We briefly lost power, which meant we lost internet, which meant we lost XSplit, which meant we lost our cameras. So we've put all the plugs back in the holes and everything should be good. Pierre, we're going to head down and watch some modern, but I understand we're going to move over to some vintage within about half an hour.
Yes, we're going to see as much modern, as much vintage as possible. And modern, both formats are really interesting.
Yeah.
Even if it's difficult to find a stream of vintage, so it's really exciting. But the modern format is also brand new, so there is a lot to learn today, and we're going to see really exciting games, I'm sure.
It's going to be a great time. Anyway you slice it, my friends, we're going to head down to the feature match area. As soon as they're ready down there, we're waiting for the final confirmation that we can head down there. Looks like we're going to get down there right now while these guys are getting ready, shuffling up and so forth. Let's get underway, as we say, around 25-30 minutes. We will be bringing some vintage. These guys still in the middle of their round. So Damien Chabrier and Kevin Luongo here, facing off in modern. And last round of modern, we saw Jund against a Black-White Hate Bears deck, and Jund really the talk of the tournament so far. Nearly 20% of the format Jund at the moment, and the deck never really left. It was kind of held back a little bit by the Eldrazi, but certainly looks to be back on top here, Pierre.
Yeah, and I don't know what to think yet. Is it Raphael seems to think that it's a really good deck when the format is really wild, and I tend to think that it's a really good deck when you know the metagame and you can tweak it perfectly. So I don't know what you think. Is it the good deck? Is it gonna make top 8? Even if there is a lot of them in the field, not sure yet.
I think it's a very faithful deck. You know that you're going to always have game when you turn up with Jund. You know there are sometimes you're going to turn up to a tournament and have just completely the wrong deck. But I think Jund just generally it sits in a format and is able to, it can combat everything, have a reasonable run.
Yeah,
regardless.
because the creatures are powerful, you have discard, you have removals, you have the best card in those 3 colors. So yeah, it couldn't be bad, but I like when you can tweak a deck.
Yeah, for sure. And this is
this kind of deck for a perfect metagame.
This is one of the biggest pulls of the Jund deck, is the fact that, as you say, it can be tweaked to beat anything. It really can beat anything at all. Kalidas is the latest technology we've seen in these Jund decks. I know a lot of people are very high on that, but the 4-drop slot has been an interesting one, Pierre. Over the years, we've seen stuff like Huntmaster of the Fells. Well, of course, after Bloodbraid Elf was taken away, Huntmaster of the Fells experimented with that. Pia and Kiran Nala was very big after it was released in Magic Origins last year. But right now, it is the 3/4 from Battle for Zendikar.
And I think it's a clever choice if we take into account the number of burn deck and Naya burn and all the deck. If you don't have a way to win life, it's not gonna be good for you.
Something we've already seen today in our first round of Modern. In round 2, we did see just how powerful the 3/4 Lifelinker is against a Goblin Guard and Lightning Bolt deck. I think Lightning Bolt is on the way back up after Thought Not Seer and Reality Smasher leave the format. So, having a threat like this that is going to eke out an advantage but not die to the premier removal spell format, really important. Yeah. Really, really important.
Long time ago, you need to have 5 toughness because of Phantom Cavu, and now you need 4 because of Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, for sure. That's how it goes here in Modern, for sure. These days, very interesting to see the interplay of these cards as they come and go due to bannings. Especially with the reintroduction of, the introduction of Ancestral Vision into Modern, and also, of course, Sword of the Meat coming into power at the top of the decks. We haven't seen a huge people picking these cards up very quickly.
Yeah, I saw when I was walking on the table a lot of Ancestral Vision, obviously. It's a really strong card for Modern, and I'm really happy he's back. And also, I saw a few Thing in the Ice.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I'm a big fan.
Mate, I'm a bigger fan. That's absolutely fantastic.
It's also 4 toughness, which is really important.
Very important. Yeah. Well, we'll see how things develop further on, but right now it's all about this one here. These players kicking things off with a pair of Stomping Grounds. Kevin Longo on Jund again here. So once again, you can see a Tarmogoyf in the hand here. We might be seeing that one hit the battlefield here. Playing a 1/2 for 2 seems a very strong play.
Yeah, and you could die on Lightning Bolt also.
Yeah. So we'll see how Longo wants to navigate this one. Fetches out an overgrown tomb here.
Sign.
Signed as well by Rob Alexander, yes. And we'll see if the biggest, baddest thumper is going to come down. Looks that it might. No? Okay. Instead, it's going to be Scavenging Ooze. Also dies to Lightning Bolt, but perhaps you're happier to have your Ooze bolted rather than your Goyf.
Yes, because then your Tamagotchi is bolt-proof.
Yeah, that's right. Having two different creature types in the bin means that a Lightning Bolt, which does 3 damage to a 2/3 Lightning to a 2/3 Tamagotchi, won't kill it, as by the time it would die, the bolt is in the bin and has improved the toughness to 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit counterintuitive rule, but it's really important to know. So
I
it's
think
not a mirror match.
No, it's not. I think here is the bolt as you imagined, but I saw a rampant growth in the hand of Chabrier here, so
that's exciting.
it's very exciting. I think it was.
YNORF? No.
I don't know if it was. No, Lano Elf certainly would have been played there.
Yeah.
But definitely I saw the Farseek. So here's Tamagotchi, the bolt-proof Tamagotchi.
It's really important.
So a 3/4 Tamagotchi here. We're going to get that Tamagotchi dice out. Damien tragically picking up the wrong one there. 3/4. And it's back to Chabrier here. Going to go searching, probably grab another Shockland out of his deck here. I can see an Emrakul in there. So this is, I would imagine this is the Summoning Trap deck that we saw floating around before.
We went through the breach, right?
With Through the Breach. No. With Summoning Trap. Maybe Through the Breach as well.
What, there is no reason not to play Through the breach.
I suppose not.
I'm not familiar with this deck, but if you play red, if you play Emrakul, you have to play Through the breach.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, there you go. Well, they're making fools of us all. Pierre Canali Through the Breach, the card just drawn. So Chabrier needs to get to 5 mana, and with a Farseek, in a good spot to do so.
What is the last red
The
card?
last red card, I thought it might have been a Faithless Looting, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
He would have been played before.
Yeah, I think so.
He had a lot of lands.
A little red card at the back there. Didn't see it.
It's not a second bolt. I'm not sure what it is.
So Farseek can search out a Stomping Ground, of course, because it is a mountain.
Yeah.
We saw this a lot during Return to Ravnica Standard, the power of Farseek. Propelling Jund decks and, of course, the Bant decks over the top with the fixing plus acceleration. Really critical in that standard, time of standard.
Yeah, I mean, it's playing cube, so it's a good card.
Yeah, there you go. That's your metric. Alright, Longo's going to draw here, and he finds a land. Looks like Terminate in hand in addition to some other action.
Yeah, but it won't be enough against Through the Breach.
No.
It won't be enough. Needs a discard or it's game.
So, Chabrier needing a land.
Oh, it already command.
And finds one as well. So here is the Stomping Ground.
Going to 14.
Go down to
And
14.
here we
But that
go.
doesn't matter because we got it through the breach, and it's going to be an Emrakul. A Flying Hasty 15/15 Annihilator seeks protection from coloured spells. Terminate ain't going to cut it here. There is the Emrakul, and Kevin Longo looks at his hand. He's, well, jeez. What can you do about it?
Now you have 2 life, no permanence.
Yeah.
What could you do?
Yep, in comes the Emrakul. Kevin goes down to 2.
Wow. Gonna play a command.
Can play Colligan's command to ding Chabrier for 2 and maybe make him discard a card. But here is Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. We've seen her fly around a fair bit this weekend already. But
It's a bolt.
so Lightning Bolt upstairs. Of course, everyone talking about the fact that we may be seeing Emrakul again in Shadows over Innistrad. Interesting to see how that particular mystery plays out. But right now, Kevin Longo down to 2. No permanence. And it's up to Chabrier now to find a way to close out the final 2 points of damage. Lightning Bolts in Chabrier's deck as well, so you've got to think he's in a very, very strong position here.
Yeah, the day before the coverage, we had a cube. And I had the Through the Bridge and a Miracle in my deck, and I like the fact that you can reshuffle them.
Yeah.
So you can
Just draw them again off the top.
Exactly.
1 and 2. There you go. Alright, we'll see how Chabrier wants to close this game out as he ships it back to Kevin. Luongo draws a card.
Yeah, any bolt,
Oh!
anything. Wow.
So lucky.
So lucky.
So lucky. Finds a land.
Don't tell someone who just took 15
Yeah,
from an
maybe
American that
so
he's
lucky. No, I guess
Don't
not.
tell that.
Away goes the Sacred Fan. Oh, sorry, away goes the Wooded Foothills thereafter. Obstinate Bailiff is going to bump up Chabrier's life total here. Obstinate Bailiff obviously very, very good against Liliana of the Veil, other cards of that sort.
And the burn decks also.
Interesting to see Luongo didn't use Colligan's command against Chabrier, which would have put which would have killed him.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Bailiff could have been discarded onto the battlefield here. Luongo with an overgrown tomb, a missed match overgrown tomb as well, I might add. Had the return to Ravnica one there on the battlefield, and a original Ravnica one in the bin. But Chabrier here, firing on all cylinders. This game more or less sort of over. As Luongo, I mean, a red source would deal with this. Would deal with this Baloth, but no.
Non-fetchland red source.
A non-fetch land red source as well, so
a
a tall order for Luongo, but he goes down. A turn 5 Emrakul, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah. Done really well there. Well done to Chabrier.
It was turn 4 maybe with the Farseek.
With the Farseek, it was turn 4. There you go. Turn 4 Emrakul swinging in for 15, and that's going to be that for game number 1. We've got some good news because on the other table, our vintage players are getting ready to play, but they're not quite shuffled up and sat down just yet. So we're going to stick around here, talk about the sideboarding options. We don't see Summoning Trap through the breach decks all the time, so it'll be difficult really for Luongo to... I don't think he'll have come here with a plan in mind against these sorts of decks.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But what are you looking at? What are you hoping to sideboard into here? What are you hoping to draw in a post-board game?
You really want to draw your discards, obviously. Kozilek is not working because through the bridge is too expensive.
Yeah.
So you need to find your other discards.
So Thoughtseize is the Inquisition of Kozilek, no good here. What about something like Liliana the Veil, a real liability against the obstinate Baloths, but can tear apart a hand?
It's a little bit slow, probably.
Yeah.
Mana Annihilation could be a good way to stuck him at 4 lands.
Some Fulminator Mages, that sort of thing.
Yeah, to win just the 1 or 2 turn you need to finish your opponent. Difficult to say because post-board, the games will be really slow. It won't be as fast. There will be discard and creatures removal from Chabrier sideboard. Yeah. Also.
Looks like Chabrier actually brought in some relics of Progenitus there.
Against Tamagotchi.
Yeah, against Tamagotchi, shrinking it down, of course.
Save a little bit of time. A few extra turns.
And Luongo here also considering his options as he shuffles through his deck, looking for what he's going to bring to bear in game number 2. But a pretty convincing win for Chabrier there, really putting the game out of reach very quickly.
I like the fact that he had a really explosive combo. He had a good defense against aggressive deck with the Ballot and the Bolt and probably Pyroclasm in sideboard. I saw Sudden Shock in the sideboard also. So
looks like Slaughter Games and Spellscard have been brought in as well. No, they're the ones staying on the sideboard as well. Slaughter Games, not a card I think is very good against Jund.
I think I saw Rampant Growth out.
Oh, coming out.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
No, you would think that that's a sort of key piece of the puzzle here.
Maybe he needs more consistent card to kill the creature and save him.
I just don't know if that's the way you want to go against Jund. Trying to 1-for-1 Jund is just not a plan that's going to end up with you on top, I don't think.
Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know.
I mean, one of the ways to get ahead, as we saw just now, is with an early Farseek. Getting that mana advantage, being able to cast these Haymaker spells. Summoning Trap not at its best here as well, I don't think.
No, you can maybe remove it. It's a little bit expensive.
Because you're never casting it for its trap cost against Jund, obviously.
Depends if Jund get a lot of duress in the sideboard.
It's not unusual to see at least one. Sometimes some other ones. I know Jund Master Rejuve recommends anywhere between 6 and 8 discard spells between the main and the sideboard. Thoughtseize has gone down in recent times in favour of Inquisition, but as you mentioned, Inquisition not at its best against a card like Through the Breach here.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
You could remove a Farseek, or Bolt, or something.
Yeah.
You have targets.
There's still
but I mean, it doesn't remove the combo.
No, yeah, that's right. Certainly some engine pieces or some utility cards, but no, the Inquisition not really ending, or not really, picking apart the combo player's hand in the way that you want it.
And there is no way you can win with Jund before turn 5. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. It's really difficult.
Well, looks like Luongo is happy with his 7, but Chabrier may be going down to 6 here by the look of things.
By the look of things, can you see dark on dark, black on black?
I think, or maybe Chabrier is still just shuffling his deck up here.
Yeah, difficult to tell.
Very difficult to tell. I think I can see just a smid there. I think cards there. We'll find out. This mystery will be solved very quickly. There we go. Okay, just the old shuffle ski there. Chabrier doing a good job of shuffling his opponent's deck.
I like the scar tattoo. It looks like a scar tattoo.
So here we go. 7 cards for both players. Saw Lightning Bolt. We saw Kalidas in there as well, and a Swamp, a Tarmogoyf for the Jund player. Red-green breach. There is a fast seek. There is a through the breach. There is a stomping ground. So
Are you
both
bending
players.
the head?
Pardon?
You're bending the head.
I was bending my head. To look across. That's right. No, I just had a bit of a crick in my neck. So it looks like Chabrier is not going to have any trouble developing his mana, as we see a suspension of Search for Tomorrow as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see this Scapeshift combo in here as well.
Also?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
True.
Dark Confidence. So Bob's going to draw Luongo some extra cards here.
Is it a season?
You are you are going out of control here with that neck craning. You are at least a foot across to the right. So Luongo, not if that's a Thoughtseize in hand, not opting to deploy it here. I mean, no reason to really. You've got enough time to pluck some of the important cards out of the hand later on. And here's Farseek. So Chabrier after the races with mana. So Thoughtseize in the hand of Luongo. That's what it looks like there.
Yeah, and it needs to be cast next turn,
Yeah.
because the turn after there will be 5 mana.
Yep. Assuming Chabrier has all the pieces needed. We've already seen through the breach.
Turn 3, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, does Chabrier have the Flying Spaghetti Monster? Yes. I just saw the Emrakul in Chabrier's hand as well, so Luongo's going to have to fire this off very quickly. Inquisition of Kozilek as well. No, too late.
Too late.
So Luongo loses one to the Bob and draws another card as well. And we're going to have to see a Thoughtseize cast here, otherwise there's going to be big trouble. So
First.
leading with an Inquisition.
Yeah.
Is it a Whiskey? We have Blood Crypt, land, and then Courser of Krufix. So there's no, excuse me, there's no Through the Breach. I mistook one of those cards for Through the Breach before, but obviously the Courser is going to go away. That's a card I'm surprised we don't see more of in Modern. I think it's in a really good spot. Dodges Bolt, gets ekes out card advantage, gains life. It does it all.
Yeah, it's really good with all the fetch land. You can control your draws. So there's so many things you can do. It's an awesome card.
In comes Dark Confident as well. Now, my question to you here is, do you cast Thoughtseize to get rid of that Emrakul? Well, Kevin's answer is no. But, I mean, if Chabrier draws it through the breach, there's going to be trouble.
Yes, the odds is 4 cards out of 50 something, almost 50 cards.
Looks like that Tarmogoyf should only be a... Oh, well, no, it should only be a 2/3 here. We've got Sorcery, Creature... Oh, no, an Enchantment, of course. The Courser of Krufix pulling double duty there for the Tarmogoyf. So Chabrier here.
It's like 12% to draw through the breach. So...
Just did it in your head, mate. Just did that in your head. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's 4 cards out of 48, something like that.
Yeah?
So,
Jeez. Numbers, huh? How do they work?
I used to be really bad with numbers, and then, I don't know.
Well, here, Chabrier finding a land with this Search for Tomorrow. So if this 12% lands in his favour, we're going to be in big trouble here. But no, it is just land, Emrakul for Chabrier. So a little bit flooded out here with Luongo on the front foot. But Bob and Tarmogoyf really some of the key pieces of this Jund deck.
Yeah, and also removing the Tarmogoyf from removing the Emrakul from the hand. It's pretty good because it will shuffle 3 really bad cards in this situation. And you want your opponent deck less redundant.
Well, we might see that this turn after an attack with the Tarmogoyf, because of course it shrinks the Tarmogoyf by 2 cards.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to take 1 turn, 1 risk, and then if it's a south size. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, let's see how Luongo wants to play this out here, because of course Kalidas also a potential play here, and smash for 4 with the Tarmogoyf. So 5 so far, and doesn't crack the fetch to get the extra point in. What do you think of that?
It's weird. It's really weird. It don't want to play the south size because also it will reshuffle.
Okay, well that's very curious, very curious sequencing there, because of course Luongo could have used that fetch lane as a little lava dart there to make sure that Tarmogoyf got in for an extra point of damage. So very curious indeed.
Yeah, he realized it too late. He didn't realize it yet because he didn't change the dice.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just didn't realize there is no lands.
Well, let's have a look now. If up we go. Oh no. So if Chabrier wins on one life, this is going to be we're going to be some face palming going on. And here is Kalidas. So Kevin Luongo really just balls to the wall here, hoping that Chabrier doesn't draw the through the breach.
Yeah. If he outside the Emrakul, there is no more enchantment and creature in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So the Tarmogoyf go down again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of the reasons and you want to take the risk. I'm not sure it's an acceptable risk.
I just think if you just get rid of it, then what are you worried about?
Yeah.
Like, you've just got nothing to worry about after that. Your opponent's hand, you've seen a lot of lands. Away goes the Arid Mesa here. Chabrier just eking out those percentage points, drawing through the breach here.
Yeah, no, it's like 10% every turn. Like something like 40 cards in his deck and 4 copies of Through the Breach.
That is the way it goes. It'll be interesting to see if Chabrier can pull some magic off the top of his deck. But he's on 12 and he's under a fair bit of an onslaught here from Luongo.
9 damage on the board.
9 damage on the board, and
bolt in the end maybe.
And the draw for Chabrier. I didn't see it.
It is.
Is it a through the breach?
Wow.
It's a through the breach. He's found the through the breach. Luongo had the option of thought seizing that Emrakul, but no, Chabrier has pulled it out of thin air. Just as you said, Pierre, he's managed to find the answers he needs. A bit of hesitation here. Very curious to see. But no, here's through the breach just like that. So Kevin Luongo, after a bit of an unfortunate sort of sequence of cards from him. Thoughtseize in the hand could have taken away the Emrakul, but away goes 6 permanents. Going to try to win it on the back of this Kalidas. Go down to 2. And Chabrier obviously feels good about his chances of winning with Kalidas here. So Chabrier now shuffling away his lands.
It's not supposed to get tokens, or
the tokens. So the creatures are sacrificed. So Chabrier may get a token off the Emrakul here.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, which will certainly speed things up from his side. Let's have a look at Kalidas, the Trader of Get here. A new card, new addition from Oath of the Gatewatch. Pull that up on the screen and then get to see the zombie that's been brought in, because of course it says whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, exile it, and you gain a 2/2. So that Emrakul it's not going to shuffle away the graveyard because it's exiled.
Okay, it's instead.
Yeah, in comes 5. So as you see, exile that card and get a 2/2. So Chabrier retains his graveyard, which is good news for Luongo's Tarmogoyfs here. But Luongo a long way away from casting them. A Luongo way away from casting them with that Ghost Quarter here.
He almost missed the trigger, but
yeah. Anger of the Gods. Alright, so get rid of that zombie. Wow, okay. Jeez. 3-mana Terminate there.
wow.
As Kalidas comes in once again, Luongo actually may have just realised that this was the way for him to win the game. Still, I think just Thoughtseizing the Emrakul there is the way to go.
Wow. It is so sad to play the combo and still not win.
Yeah, is Luongo going to beat an Emrakul here? Chabrier has only drawn lands so far. We haven't seen a lot of action from him.
With 7 permanents, he managed to save the kill, maybe.
In comes Kalidas. Chabrier down to 1 and Luongo up to 11. He has been hit with an Emrakul, but the Flying Spaghetti Monster may not get it done this game. 1, 2, and 3 lands for Chabrier, and he scoops. There you go. So Luongo given an extra chance there, leveling things up at 1 and 1. Unbelievable stuff. We might peek in at this game in just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, but it is time, I'm sure you're very happy to hear this, to head over to our other table, because we have Vintage in the chamber and ready to go. Let's get over there right now and have a look at what's going on. Now, I can tell you the man on your screen here with the very fashionable hat and the sunglasses that I think you'd be envious of there, Pierre. He's playing a very unusual deck. He's playing what old school vintage players would call a fish deck.
Wow.
It's not Merfolk though. It's a Mayor of Averbrook deck. It's humans, right? But vintage players tend to refer to these decks with their traditional names. Any aggro deck in vintage is just called fish. That's the way it goes. So it's a humans fish deck. It's a mermaid deck, if you like. But Michael Ruppen here has the Mayor of Averbrook, the Noble Hierarch, the Thalia Guardian of Thraben, and a really interesting one from Magic Origins, Scab Clan Berserker, I think it's called. It's the 3-mana 2/2 Renown, right? And when it's renowned, whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, it gets them for 2. Very powerful in a format full of Moxen. So we'll see what Ruppen can do here. Rick on his opponent here.
Banned fish?
Banned fish. Wow. Yeah. Well, I think it's playing. I think it's actually just it might just straight be five colors.
5 colors.
But because often they play. There's Scab Clan Berserker, the card we were talking about.
I like that.
We've seen in lists this traditionally we see BoM, we see Dark Confident, and in addition we see the Scab Clan Berserker. So you're going to see a lot of Cities of Brass here. Wow. A lot of Cities of Brass, a lot of mana confluences, a lot of Caverns of Souls here.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting. Rikuar, on the other hand, and there you see the Cavern of Souls. It's going to power out a Noble Hierarch here, and this is a great start for Ruppen.
So he keep the paper with human on it, because it's always human.
Yeah, cool. Always human. And we've got now a Mox Emerald, and we may see
a second one.
A second one is going to be huge here.
I think so.
Oh, no, forcing the Mox Emerald. Forcing the Mox Emerald, not something you see very often here, but certainly when you want to constrain your opponent on mana, certainly a very valid line to take. And also exiling critically the Flusterstorm, not going to be of much use in this game.
Yeah.
So, Rick Ward now playing his Mox Pearl, and looks like he's got a land as well. We're going to see a Polluted Delta. Sacrificing that, and I imagine we're going to see Preordained cast here.
Probably a Delver.
Or even a Delver. Is there a Delver of Secrets? Okay, so Delver, a card that has been pushed to the fringes in Vintage. You would think, a very good card to be able to get on the front foot early.
I misread. It's not a Delver deck because I saw Oath of Druid and.
So definitely no Delver going there. No, we've got Oath on the left-hand side of your screen and Fish on the right. I was on the point with Delver. It hasn't made a huge splash in Vintage due to just the pure level of disruption. Being 1-for-1 in Vintage is a very big deal here. So we've got what I would imagine is 5-color fish. It probably is 5-color fish versus Oath of Druids.
Yeah, Oath is more and more popular.
Yeah, it really is. It's one of the go-to combo decks of the format. Oath of Druids, of course. Let's get a look at this card up on the screen. Oath of Druids, basically, that you're going to see a wall of text here. But essentially what it says is, if your opponent has more creatures than you, you can mill cards from the top of your library until you hit a creature, and then you can put it into play without casting its mana cost.
Really powerful enchantment.
And you tend to put it into play something like a Grizzlebrand, which tends to be pretty good.
Not only, there is a lot of different version. You have the big demon who make a demonic tutor when you come into play.
Rune Scarred Demon, of course, yeah.
So you just take the best card to deal with the situation.
Yep.
You have Emrakul and Show and Tell also. I think it's the version Sebastian is playing right now. So you have different versions, different people are playing different techniques. But the core deck is always the same. Host of Druid and the land will give the 1/1
Forbidden Orchard. Forbidden Orchard, a way to make sure your opponent has a creature.
Exactly,
obviously not necessary when you're playing against human fish here, but we're getting in with the beatdowns already with Noble Hierarch getting in for 2, thanks to the double Exalted trigger, and I really like the Wasteland there. The Wasteland, a really key piece of disruption against Oath of Druids here, because Rikuor, he lands the Oath and it's going to be very hard for Ruppen to get back from it. Polluted Delta number 2, mismatched Polluted Deltas, I might add.
I saw Voltaic Key. That means he's playing the combo with
With time vault
Time
as well,
vaults,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's not hard for vintage decks to just sort of sneak that in. It's only 3 cards, only 4
3
cards.
with tutors and it's easy.
You put Tinker in, you put the other stuff in as well, and there's always an artifact floating around. Mox Pearl, a testament to that fact right now. But as we cycle through Ricord's deck, you can see a lot of power going on in there. I saw A-Call, I've seen Moxes. Have we seen a Lotus as well?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I imagine we'd see a Lotus. So here comes another tropical island. Ricord does not have the Oath. As you say, Voltaic Key is there, and it's going to be preordained.
It's looking for the horse. Because when you bring an Emrakul or a Grizzle Brown, I mean, it's going to be game most of the time.
Yeah, many decks find it very difficult, of course, to deal with Emrakul, and the fish deck here might be playing some number of Swords to Plowshares, but...
it's not working, it's protected from Colored Spell.
No, a Gristlebrand, I'm saying, sorry. A Gristlebrand will be easily dealt with there, but yeah, an Emrakul tends not to be what's oathed in. It tends to be Gristlebrand, but certainly... oh, and here we are, see the Scab Clan Berserkers here. So Scab Clan Berserker, unable to be cast just as of yet, but this is some pretty spicy tech, and I think Ricord is having to have a look at this. This was a reasonable pick in Magic Origins draft, but apart from that, it hasn't seen much play. I mean, but you get one of these bad boys out and renown it, and all of a sudden, you know, your opponent's paying 2 for every 2 life for every spell.
And there's a lot of spell being played in Vintage.
Yeah, of course, you can see already just Ricord's graveyard. I mean, there are, what, 6, 7, 8 points of damage thanks to Scab Clan Berserker were it in play, but unfortunately for Ruppen, he doesn't have the double red.
Yeah, both players are a little bit stuck.
Yeah. And this happens so much in Vintage as well. It happens so much when your deck just sort of trips over itself and you end up having to beat them to death with whatever's lying around, in this case, is a Noble Hierarch. The other one getting in for 2 this time. Ruppen distributing the beats around his mana dorks here.
Is it a Time Walk?
And it's Time Walk as well. Yeah. Blue Ski and Black Ski, and it's going to be Time Walk as well. So this is acting more or less as an Explore.
Yeah, more or less.
Well, explore with 2 damage on the side as well. Ruppen without another land, so just cycling it more or less here. Not the worst play in the world, but still not very exciting. Rickwar without a lot of action.
Source?
It's a white source. It's a Mox Pearl. So in for 2 once again. Rickwar down to 9 here.
I think Michael should have mulliganed this hand maybe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's only 1 red source away from the
How many
Scab Clan.
do you think he plays?
A huge amount. Like, we're looking at multiple mana confluences, multiple Cavern of Souls, multiple City of Brass, so at least 12, plus the Mox Sapphire, plus the Mox Emerald, I should say. Probably a Lotus in there as well. So, enough, I would imagine.
Okay. I really like the creature deck in Vintage.
Yeah, it's always it's so rarely played as well.
He doesn't play Force of Will.
No, I mean it plays Ancestral Call and Time Warp, but there's just not enough blue cards to support the force here. So two mana, and here is another huge piece of the puzzle. Thalia, the Guardian of Thraben, a Walking Thorn of Amethyst, uncounterable as well. We're going to see a Brainstorm, but obviously broadening off the Cavern here is going to make it very difficult for Urquhart to do anything about it. Thalia so important against these decks. And Pierre, it must be really clear, even to just sort of the layman viewer of Vintage here, exactly what kinds of cards matter in Vintage. We've got Thalia, we've got Scab Clan Berserker, non-creature spells. If you can bring a deck that punishes people for playing them, you're in a good spot.
Exactly. Most of the deck doesn't play creature, except for maybe
2, 3 maybe creatures. You know,
yeah,
a Monastery Mentor here or there, a Gristlebrand here or there, whatever. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
But Sebastian has a lot of top deck right now because he's at 7.
Yeah,
he can survive the next attack step if Michael doesn't draw a red source. And House of Druid is really good. Time Vault, Tinker.
Yeah.
All those cards.
And it's the Oath, yeah, costing 3. So this is going to be a big. This is going to be a bit of a problem for Ruppen here.
Except if you draw a red source.
Yeah, a red source is going to push things over the top. But right now, Rico only taking 4 from the Thalia. Let's see what Ruppen can find here.
Is it?
It looks like a blue card to me. Double Scab Clan Berserker stranded in hand, and okay, all right, we're gonna see a human. It's Mayor of Averbrook. Oh dear, look at this. So this card giving all of the creatures on the battlefield +1/+1.
Wow.
So how much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage with the Thalia here, in addition to those noble hierarchs getting in. So Mayor of Averbrook, of course, it's just it's a 1/1 for 2, giving everything else +1/+1. Might be a 2/2, excuse me. When it flips on Wuppen's end step, he gets a wolf, and it gives other wolf creatures +1/+1. So yeah, there you go. 2 mana 1/1. When it transforms, turns into the Howlpack Alpha, which then gives all wolves +1/+1. We see it there, and at the beginning of your end step, so it's got to survive the whole time to give you a 2/2. But that's not why it's there, obviously. So Thalia in for 6 here, or in for 5, I should say.
So you know what's going on?
5, yeah.
In for 5, so it makes the same difference. The attack there, but Ricor is gonna be able to put something into play here, so it's gonna be exciting to find out exactly what.
If it's a Grizzlebrown, he survives. If it's
Emrakul off the top just like that, set up with the brainstorm before.
It's not enough.
So it is put onto the battlefield. It does not, however, give him the extra turn. It's not cast. It is put onto the battlefield, so it's not going to be enough here because those it can block one of the creatures, but the other ones are going to get in there.
There is still a draw step, right? He didn't draw yet.
So 1 draw step for Rick Ward here. The other thing is, without casting a spell, that Mayor of Averbrook flips. No, but it's still not good enough because either block the Thalia or the Howlpack Alpha, because that's a 3/3. So flip or no, it looks like Oath is having to pack it up. We see the fish deck getting there, of course, the traditional name of any aggro deck in Vintage, and that's how you do it.
It's amazing. I mean, you cannot think it will be a favorite in this matchup, even with 2 empty sleeves in his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Those cards doing just wasting away those Scab Clan Berserkers, but Ruppen able, you can see his face. He's a happy bloke. He's managed to pull that out, and it's I think it's fair to say that it is a fringe strategy. It's not a hugely played deck. But when it works, I mean, you see it can punish people dirtling around with gushes and the like.
Yeah, I think you have been a little bit lucky that he didn't draw Oath earlier.
Yeah.
Because the things could have been really bad for him, especially with the red mana missing.
Yeah.
So I think game 2 going to be interesting. It's an interesting matchup.
I'd really like to see some of those Scab Clan Berserkers because I know Ruppen is playing 4 of them. Well, at least 3. I've seen 3.
Okay.
Maybe 4. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge threat. A 2/2 with haste, with renown as well. It comes in and as early as turn 2 and can punish the opponent very, very severely.
Yeah, it seems really slow, but it's haste. You have Moxen too, and he cannot be countered.
No, much of the time because of Cabinet Souls can't be countered. You mentioned it being slow, but I think so much of the disruption in Vintage is about thorn effects, sphere effects. Making people pay more for their spells. Wastelands, that's right. This fish deck is saying you can cast your spells, mate, but you're taking 2 for each spell you cast, right? And I've got 4 creatures that are going to beat you down real quick. So
and they cost 1 more, and
that's it. I mean, the combination of Thalia and the Berserker. I mean, I think it's a really potent combination. Having said that,
he's 5-0, right?
I mean, 5-0, the numbers speak for themselves. Wuppen's done really well so far. Having said that, we do have to talk about some of the inherent weaknesses of the deck. I don't see how this deck can beat Storm's nut draw, because there is no disruption. There is no... Well, Thalia, this sort of thing, but there's no force of will. Yeah. Probably playing some number of mental missteps, just because why wouldn't you? It's basically free. But, a little bit of the glass cannon decks are going to be able to sort of, punch through this here. But the decks that are taking a little bit of time to set up, I'm talking about the Dak Faden decks, I'm talking about the Monastery Mentor decks, the ones that are a little bit less explosive, certainly in a really good position to be taken down by fish.
True, so I think the best strategy for Ruppen is to have a really heavy anti-combo sideboard.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This could be a really good strategy to have a really good deck against all the control decks, and fill the gap with the sideboard.
But just a deck like Dredge, I don't understand how the fish deck can be expected to beat Dredge.
Oh, 0% game 1.
Yeah.
And a lot of cards against sideboard.
Yeah.
And I think it's it is always the case. In Legacy and Vintage, Dredge is going to win, I don't know, 90% of the game 1.
Yeah, it's like a 90% game 1 thing.
And 30% of game 2 and 3. So it's that the game plan.
Yeah.
You're gonna struggle game 2 and 3, but you know that game 1 is
yours.
most of the time
Yeah.
it's yours.
And you sit down against a you know, a human aggro, and you know you're going to be in a good spot. But Rickward here, he's going to be wanting a turn 1 Oath. He's going to be wanting a turn 2 Gristlebrand, turn 2 Emrakul, and get in there with that. I'm curious to see Emrakul as his go-to threat there. I'm interested to know if there is a Gristlebrand as well in the deck as well, which is more.
Makes sense.
It's fair to say it's the more orthodox choice.
Yeah, and you need as well 2 big guys for your Author Druid because you don't want to mill yourself too much.
Yeah.
So you need two big guys. Oh, Channel also. I like that.
Channel as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, how about that?
Turn 1 Channel, Emrakul.
Yeah.
Play my extra turn.
Jeez, just
Attack.
getcha.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
that's super hot. I see a lot of tutors as well. We
Yeah.
did see the Tinker. This is not standard technology in the Oath deck, but sometimes you do see it. But also I saw Mystical Tutor and I saw Vampiric Tutor as well.
Yes, you really want to get the combo. It could be House of Druid with the land. It could be Voltaic Key with Time Vault.
Yeah.
It could be Channel with Grizzlebrown. You have like 3 or 4 combo in your deck, and most of the time you will get one piece, and you want the tutor to get the other piece.
Yeah, for sure, and that's certainly going to help him with that Rickwar. Playing a lot of very, very powerful cards, but as we saw, the deck is not infallible. Oath is a huge threat, but one thing I do want to point out as well, Pierre, is after sideboard it does get harder.
Probably the fish deck had a lot of disenchant in the sideboard.
Disenchant Grafdigger's Cage is another thing that Rickward is going to have trouble with.
Yeah, it doesn't stop the other combos, but it stopped the House of Druid.
Well, it stops Tinker.
It stops
It stops the Blightsteel Colossus side of Tinker.
Yeah, but not the Voltaic
Not the Voltaic
and
Key side of it,
combo.
no, that's right.
I think in game 1, if House of Druid can get earlier House of Druid, it's not that bad.
No.
But game 2 it's going to be more difficult.
But the disruption on the side of, well, any deck really, I mean this disruption is colourless, we're talking about Grafdigger's Cage, it's so backbreaking, it's so brutal, and Rickward needs the Nature's Claim, needs the disenchant effect, whatever, straight away.
Yeah. I think the game 1 should be a little advantage for us, but game 2 is definitely fish.
Yeah. Yeah, Rickward will have been disappointed not to have picked up the game 1 win. On the back of that, I can see in his hand though, this is a black card at the front that I'm not familiar with.
It's a -1/-1 to all creatures, Knight of Whispers, or Knight of Betrayal.
No, oh, okay.
It's -1/-1 to all white creatures. So it's against Thalia, it's
yeah.
against Mentor, it's a 1 mana enchantment.
Leading off with a Mox Mox Jet here, Rickward, and a Misty Rainforest. And we're going to have, so Dread of Night. White creatures get -1/-1, so goodbye Thalia. Monastery Mentor as well, I don't imagine is in Ruppin's deck, but very, very, very good against that card as well.
Yeah, red decks are playing Sulfur Elemental. Even if 3 mana, it's really effective in Legacy and maybe even in Vintage. But because this deck doesn't play red, you need to play the black equivalent.
Yep.
Even better because it's not +1/-1, it's -1/-1.
Okay, and it's Dark Confident for Ruppin, so it is indeed 5-color fish. And Dread of Night is going to put pay to all of those Thalias as we mentioned. Interesting that you point out, you're saying it is better than the Sulfur Elemental for giving them not giving them +1/-1. One thing I do want to point out though with this Dread of Night, it costs 1.
Yes.
Right. That can be a huge advantage, also a huge liability
Because
of Mental Misstep. Yeah, and that was what I was half expecting to see out of from Ruppin's hand there. Playing a card with for 1 mana is it's not the safe bet that you'd think it would be, due to the fact that there is a free counterspell. Ancestral Recall now for Rickward, and that's big game. Certainly, Ruppin, I would imagine, does not have a Mental Misstep in hand, otherwise that would have been cast just now, because A-Call, a back-breaking play here.
Wow, library now.
Library of Alexandria as well.
That's a lot of card
You
advantage.
always know when your opponent has drawn a library because they count their hand. You always know. It's like when they draw Snapcaster Mage, they check their graveyard. Yeah.
True, there's a lot of tell, yeah.
Yep, so we have Preordain here. Scry 2, draw card.
Yeah, still looking for Oath.
Preordain, a very popular choice for cantripping in Vintage. Of course, the other ones they're restricted.
Yeah.
Brainstorm, Pond are both restricted. So if you want to play 4 cantrips, you have to play Preordain.
Yeah, it's the third best country.
Yeah. Is that just completely clear? I've heard people make the argument that Preordain is in some cases better than Ponder, but no.
I mean,
I think the results speak for themselves, right?
Yeah, Ponder is better. When you are looking for something, it's 4 cards instead of 3.
Yeah.
It's make a huge difference.
So Ruppen not wanting to miss his Bob trigger here. Rickaward with a Polluted Delta and go. So, trigger Bob. Gemstone Cavern. So we can see Ruppen playing more or less every 5-colour land that there is. I saw Cities of Brass before. Wow. You can see Mana Confluence in the hand as well. So Ruppen just completely wanting to make sure he has access to all colours of mana here.
This is the strip mine, yeah?
And strip mine. 5-colour strip mine, no worries.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries, man.
And it's going to be a really good answer to library.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Here is the strip mine. Well, it's going to be an answer to the island at this stage. I do like this. Ruppen wanting to make sure he stays ahead of Rickaward on mana. We're going to see a Noble Hierarch here and an attack for 3. Rickaward down to 18. Has a response here. Can't imagine what it might be. Another island here.
Yeah, really careful for the Westland. He saw game 1.
And we're going to see a Brainstorm. Rickaward were very clearly in the habit of pushing his cards towards his opponent so they can read them. Obviously a lot of very unfamiliar cards in Legacy, so it might sort of be a little bit of muscle memory going on there.
I can see a Show and Tell, Force of Will, Abrupt Decay.
And the Forbidden Orchard at the front of the hand there. Looks like that's going to be put back on top, however.
Off card.
Yeah, so Forbidden Orchard kept in the hand, 1 put back on top, Brainstorm, and then 3 from the Bob.
I really don't understand why he cracked his fetch to do that.
No.
He's not able to reshuffle now. In response to the attack step, I don't get it.
Yeah, beginning of combat step, Brainstorm, an odd choice to be sure.
I don't get it.
I mean, here it's just Library Go, I think.
Yeah. You have plenty of time, 15 life.
Yeah, the library engine just so powerful once you see it. I mean, a card that I think it's very easy for people to underestimate the library. You kind of look at it and you go, well, you know, it's so conditional, you've got to have 7 cards. The thing is, you draw 2 cards a turn, you play 2 cards a turn, you've got 7 cards in your hand, and man, you get to choose the best 2 to play every turn. It's insane. It is insane.
If you play a cube, take it first pick.
What would you pick? What would you pick over library?
Sorrowing.
A-Call.
Yeah, Ancestral Recall.
Lotus.
Yeah, depending on the list of the cube, but probably Lotus. And it's probably it.
Yeah, not a lot else, huh? There's the Library of Alexandria. So it makes mana as well. That's the insane thing. We've got a City of Brass revealed to Bob. So Ruppen also keeping up with the cards as well. Hasn't taken too much damage either. Cavern of Souls, also naming human, you would imagine. And what are we going to see here?
Your favorite red haste card.
Here it is, the Scab Clan Berserker. Let's get another look at Scab Clan Berserker here. 2/2 haste renown 1. When it becomes renowned, every non-creature spell costs the opponent 2 life. It does 2 damage to them. So there you go. The haste part is crucial here. The haste part is so crucial because now Rickaward is going to take a pasting for casting anything.
It's a kind of Eidolon.
Yeah, it is. It's like an Eidolon, isn't it? Yeah, it's like an Eidolon.
But faster, more expensive.
Yeah. So, drawing a card with the library here. I bet Ruppen is wishing he'd held that strip. Gataxian Probe. Take 2, buddy. Take 4, mate. 4 life to cast that Gataxian Probe. Did you see Ruppen straight away? Bang! Bang!
Yeah.
He's not going to forget that trigger.
Yeah. It's his
No.
life.
Yeah, that's it. So let's have a look here. We've got... wow,
Flooded.
look at this.
It's flooded.
Yeah. Oh, is that a Mantis Rider? Mantis Rider as well. Of course, it's a human monk, and this guy down the bottom, Grand Abolisher. Let's have a look at Grand Abolisher here. This deck is bananas. I mean, I've seen this list before. I've seen these lists before. I've not seen the Scab Clan Berserker, and I've never seen Mantis Rider. That is insane, but of course, this is going to do it. This is going to do such a good job here. So, of course, Grand Abolisher, as you see there, printed in M10 originally, I think. So during your turn, no spells, no abilities can be activated except unless they belong to a land. But a really powerful card against many. It's sort of like a defense grid on legs in many ways.
Yeah, it's probably a sideboard tech.
I would imagine so. And there's the Mantis Rider. I mean, a card that doesn't need too much of an introduction. 3/3 Flying Vigilance Haste. Playable as early as turn 1 if you've got the right draw. Turn 2 gets you for 3 in the air. I mean, that's
good enough.
That's a huge beating. Man, Whoopin, super impressed by Whoopin's deck. I mean, Oath of Druid's nothing to take away from it, but it is known. It's a standard quantity and known technology. Here on the right-hand side of your screen, though, Whoopin has come to party.
Yeah, it looks like a modern deck.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from the old strip mine.
He's 5-0. Is really close to be 6-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
The point I want to make here, though, Pierre, in Modern, this deck would be utter trash. This deck would be the hottest garbage you've ever seen in Modern. But in Vintage, it's attacking on a line where people just aren't equipped to respond. Here's Show and Tell now from Rikuo. This could spell trouble, however, for Whoopin.
Yeah.
Modern players, this is time in the round.
So
Time in the round.
he takes 2 damage, right?
Yep. Oh, but there's an Emrakul and a Grand Abolisher. So Rikuo down to 5 here.
Did he forget the trigger?
He may have forgotten the trigger. Oh, no.
Maybe not.
Let's see. Let's find out. Because the Show and Tell, of course, should have triggered the Scab Clan Berserker. It looks like Whoopin may have forgotten here.
Oh. Very sad.
Oh, that's rough. Man, that's rough. Well, highly castable off the Mox Sapphire. Not a lot of answers to these Emrakuls, though. What I'd really like to see here, of course, is a Time Walk.
Would be.
The 5-color fish deck would really like to see a Time Walk here. Well, highly castable off the Mox Sapphire. Not a lot of answers to these Emrakuls, though. What I'd really like to see here, of course, is a Time Walk.
Would be.
The 5-color fish deck would really like to see a Time Walk here.
He's at 18, he can survive an attack.
Yeah.
Sacrifice all non-creature permanents.
Won't have a lot sticking around afterwards, but yes, you're right.
Need to sacrifice the Dark Confidant, obviously. Take 15, like a man.
Take 15. Take it on the chin. Yeah, maybe stick around with that Scab Clan Berserker here. So Grand Abolisher, as we saw, put into play with the Show and Tell beforehand. Here's Mantis Rider, though. Whoa. I mean, I don't think it's double uncounterable.
Yeah.
Because both the 2 colors of mana were produced using the...
it's like double trample.
Yeah, double trample. It has double trample. Double trample, double flying, double haste, double vigilance. But Rikuo not in a position to answer this here.
No. Let me see. 1. Is it a 2/2?
It's a 2/2, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's 1/1 now with the Dread of Night.
Yep.
Which means 3.
This is only a 2/2 as well. The Mantis Rider also only a 2/2.
Yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if he didn't miss the trigger,
yeah,
he could have been game.
So Force of Will targeting the oh no, he now takes 2. The Force of Will targeting the Mantis Rider. He takes 2 off the Scab Clan Berserker, so he takes 3 total from the Force of Will. Oh my goodness me. Well, Whoopin remembering his triggers there.
If he doesn't miss the trigger.
I think he pointed to the Scab Clan Berserker. I saw him do it.
So why the life is still 6?
Has the life been changed? We need to make sure that's right, because he missed it.
He missed the
He
trigger
missed it. We're getting
twice.
confirmation. He missed it twice. In they come. Rikuo down to 6. So a 2/2, a 1/1, a 1/2, and a 2/2. So this is actually going to do it. 2 missed triggers from the Scab Clan Berserker, and Rikuo forcing a card cast off 2 Caverns of Souls.
Is it non-creature spell or non-creature spell who costs less than something?
No, it's non-creature spell.
So it should, 2 triggers missing. Wow.
Man, that is
sad.
That is not great here. So block the Scab Clan Berserker, take 6. Take 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Oh, man. And now the Scab Clan Berserker is off the table. So, man, Woppen with the opportunity to finish things off there.
To be 5-0.
Oh, no. Well, at least now we can cast down Ancestral Recall without losing any life. Man. Okay, Thalia. Reflector Mage?
This deck is insane.
Reflector Mage! Jeez Louise, look
it's
at
working
this.
against Emrakul.
Yeah, of course. Emrakul has protection from coloured spells, but not from coloured abilities. And so the Reflector Mage can return it to Rickward's hand, but I mean, from here on out, the thing is, Woppen has Rickward dead on board.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to be what the problem here might be? Oh no, because of course the Emrakul can the Annihilator trigger can take care of the Bob. So we imagine.
Don't forget to sacrifice the Bob.
Don't forget to sacrifice the Bob. Oh man, although I don't know how many more cards are going to cost 3 there. I mean, the Scab Clan Berserkers, maybe another Mantis Rider here. So Woppen, unfortunately, is on the way to letting this game slip through his fingers here. But Woppen looks to be keeping
the Bob?
Keeping the Dark Confidant. Oh, look at this!
With all the 3
With
casting
all the
costs?
3 casting costs in his deck, he's just keeping the Bob. What a maniac!
Wow.
Oh my goodness, he is. Oh, absolutely, he's going at it so hard here.
Wow.
If he flips a 3, and we've seen Reflector Mage as well, so there are so many 3-cost cards in his deck.
Wow.
This is insane. So, Woppen, is he going to flip a 3? Is it going to be flip a 3? It's a 1!
Wow.
Oh, so dodges it. Here we go. Does Rickward have an answer to these
game?
2 creatures?
Is it game?
Does he have an answer to these 2 creatures? Woppen now on 2 life. On 2 life. His opponent on 1. After having missed 2 Scab Clan Berserker triggers. Can Woppen do it? A City of Brass and an attack. And Rickward is
it?
making a 1-1. And it's Abrupt Decay.
And it's 5-0.
And that is that. Woppen getting to 5-0 Abrupt Decay. Not able to seal the deal there. Bob, oh my goodness me. So
deck.
I think Michael Woppen just going into the game menu and pressing difficulty nightmare mode, because absolutely he gave himself so many opportunities to lose that game.
Yeah.
That was insane.
This game should be good.
Oh man,
Because
I mean, you are
misplay, it's still won.
you are getting what you paid
5-0.
for. Ladies and gentlemen, 5-color fish moves to 5-0 in the hands of Michael Woppen there. Hopefully we'll see more of that deck as the day progresses. What a true pleasure it is, Pierre, to be bringing vintage around to people around the world.
Yes, it's my second favorite format after Cube. And we need to chase this guy to get a deck tech. We need that.
Absolutely. We're going to try to get in touch with Michael, of course, before the end of the day. We need a deck tech. We need to have a chat with this bloke and what he's up to, because not even just the deck. How about his playstyle as well? So we move over now to another vintage game. We've the modern round is all concluded, and I'm very happy to be able to bring you more vintage like this. Pierre Canali, you're going to step out of the booth, bring Raphael Levy. Mate, it's been a great pleasure to work with you as ever. We'll see you back here very soon for more action here at Bazaar, Moxen, Annecy.
See you soon.
Thanks so much to my good friend Pierre Canali. Raphael Levy, the Pro Tour Hall of Famer, joining me in the booth very shortly. Anton Karlinski and Joan Matteo here. These two have done pretty well so far, both sitting at 4-0. Joan Matteo picking up the Game 1 win. I think I saw Joan playing earlier on. We'll have a good old look at what's going on there. Karlinski, already someone we've seen in the feature match area this weekend. As Raphael Levy joins me in the booth, Raph, great to have you back here again. The Pro Tour Hall of Famer sitting down, getting himself comfortable.
What have I missed?
Oh, mate, we just saw one of the most insane matches of Magic. I know you're out there watching it as well on your computer. I know you didn't miss a second of it like that. But it's time to do it all over again here with 2 new vintage decks. Anton Karlinski, Raph, someone we saw yesterday doing really well in Legacy.
Yeah, he couldn't have done better, actually.
Yeah.
He was the winner.
He was the winner.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, he couldn't have done better if he tried.
Yeah.
Black Lotus, in addition to a Scalding Tarn, the perfect start here, more or less, an absolutely brutal start. 4 mana on turn 1. We see turn 1 Jaces in this format. We see turn 1 Mentors.
We're going to see Channel Fireball here.
Oh, yeah?
Are we gonna do that?
Are we going to see Channel Fireball?
I don't know, I'm asking.
Lotus, Channel, Fireball, yeah.
That's the one.
It'll be good enough.
The one and only
Yeah.
combo first.
The first combo, there it is. Joe and Matteo was saying earlier, I got a chance to see what Matteo was up to earlier, and I'm hoping to get to see it again. And here we see it. Look at this, the turn 1 Monastery Mentor. This is a back-breaking play. This is so huge. We've seen earlier already in Vintage what happens, the flurries of spells, the fact that all this stuff happens on the stack. And now, from this point onwards, Karlinski is being paid for every spell he casts. Mental Misstep taking care of that top, but already we're seeing the power of the Monastery Mentor, because that's a 1/1, a free 1/1 there, even though the top was dealt with. 1/1 prowess as well, which is highly relevant. Gitaxian Probe for Matteo kicking things off. Mental Misstep, a huge part of this format, a huge part of this tournament as well. I mean, you have to have a pretty good excuse not to play it.
That hand is quite brutal.
The hand of Karlinski.
Yeah.
A lot of
Two
action in
permission
there.
spells. That's
Yeah, we got our Bazaar of Moxen monk tokens there.
the panda.
Yeah, the little panda there, drunken monk. So yeah, Karlinski's certainly in the driver's seat, and such is the power of the Black Lotus. Such is the power of the Lotus.
It's not quite Channel Fireball, but
Okay, it's Lotus
Close,
Mentor.
yeah.
Lotus Mentor here, so let's have a look and see what Matteo can do. You see some black-bordered power entering your screen, ladies and gentlemen. I know you love it so much. Here's a Time Walk, so a little bit of an explore.
what does this one do?
Take an extra turn after this one, what it says.
Okay.
Take an extra turn after this one.
Is it like play an extra land and draw a card?
A little bit in this case. It is a bit of a fringe player. It's just a one-of in some decks. Yeah, obviously being restricted there. And Matteo ships the turn, so not even an explore here, just cycling the Time Walk there. Can be a strong turn 1 play in terms of getting you on the board in a major way. But what's happening here is we're seeing prowess, we're seeing monks put into play, and all of a sudden Karlinski is smashing for 5.
At least.
At least. Force of Will, Flusterstorm, the contents of the hand here, and I mean, do you Flusterstorm this just for the thing? I'm highly tempted to, but no. Karlinski just gets in for 5.
You just get two. You keep your cards here.
I guess the thing is, Karlinski doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Karlinski
already
just
on
plays
9.
his spells. Yeah, Mateo's on 9, taken 2 from the Gitaxian Probe already, 2 from the Mental Misstep. And now 5.
Now he has 2 Force of Wills in hand.
Yeah.
When did he draw them? Like on turn 2 and 3? to not counter the Monastery Mentor?
Yeah, I think you obviously counted the Mentor there. In for another 4 here, and Matteo down to 8. Oh, sorry, down to 5, I should say. And a Library of Alexandria in Karlinski's hand. Not a huge...
If you play anything, I'm gonna have a dude. So
Yeah.
you can't. I have a Force of Will. I'm gonna counter whatever. I do.
Yeah.
Even if it's something I can't counter. I'm going to counter.
You played Beseiju on something, I'm going to be very happy about it because it's going to cost you 2 life. Also, how did you get to enter the battlefield untapped? But,
Kevin Chameleon, I counter.
yeah, no worries.
I'll
no worries at all,
try.
mate.
I'll try.
I'll get there. Young Matteo doing some maths. It doesn't take too much to figure out exactly how dead he is here.
I think very.
Very is an appropriate modifier there. So Karlinski casually shuffling around the many permission spells in his hand here. And Matteo, yeah, certainly hard-pressed to find an answer to this. Going to be very difficult. Going to kick things off, however, with a Pyroblast.
It's very good.
It's not so good. It's not so
That's
good.
very
Oh
good.
my goodness. So Yon Matteo, it's with Pyroblast.
Oh, he tried.
You are able to cast it. You are able to cast it. It says destroy target permanent if it's blue.
That's a strong play.
It's a very strong play from Yon Matteo there. Oh dear, so the Monastery Mentor not being blue meant that it wasn't destroyed.
He's not sad. He's not blue.
No, he's not blue. He's feeling very happy. Here's
Here
a
we
treasure
go. He was
cruise.
C.
So that's the reason for that there.
That was cool. That was a cool play though.
But it's going to be Flusterstorm, and of course Matteo triggering prowess with that one there as well. So the Flusterstorm is going to do it. Going to wrap things up. We all saw there Karlinski with way too much on the battlefield for Matteo to overcome. A little bit of a tech there, playing the sort of Lotus Petal with the Pyroblast there, but not enough at the end of the day.
What about Thought Laces?
Thought Laces.
Yeah.
No idea what that card does.
You
I
don't
have to
know?
say.
Yeah,
You
well,
keep making me look like an utter buffoon.
Thought Lace is a pretty old card.
Yeah.
A
Is it
pretty-
really?
Yeah, Thought card. It's Thought Lace. Can we have a Thought Lace, please?
Let's have Thought Lace up on the board. Have a look at this one.
There've been some reeditions are a little better than that card.
Yeah.
This was one of the cards you open your first packs. You're like, man, I wasted my 15 francs.
Yeah.
Can we have a Thought Lace?
We're getting it up on the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at what's exactly going on there. Now sideboarding in.
Not Thought Lash.
Not Thought Lash. Not Thought Lash.
Thought Lace.
What's going on with these guys with their sideboarding? I wanted to come back. We talked about it a little bit with Pierre, Raph. I wanted to talk about the role of sideboarding in Vintage. With sideboarding, there are so many cards purely devoted to combating the unfair decks. You need to devote cards to Dredge. You need to devote cards to Oath. This sort of stuff. Here's Thought Lace. So Thought Lace may have been a problem there, but obviously.
Or an answer to the. No, you changed the color of a Monastery Mentor to blue.
Yeah, to blue, and then Pyroblast it. Yeah, sure. That would have been super hot there, I reckon. So, but what I want to talk to you about is the fact that all of these decks are packing cards like Grafdigger's Cage. Very, very good against the range decks, Oath of Druid. Sometimes Layla on the Void is in there as well. Recently, however, what's been interesting to watch in this format is the sort of stabilization of artifact hate, because that used to be such a huge piece of the puzzle. Because, of course, if you're playing against stacks, you need Serenity, you need Disenchant, you need Ingot Chewer, you need Energy Flux, you need these cards to combat it. With the restriction of Lodestone Golem, however, maybe those sideboard spaces are freeing up for the blue mirrors.
So earlier we were talking about that. Maybe we can talk about that again. In Vintage you have three kind of decks. You have the blue decks.
Yeah.
You have the unfair decks.
Yeah.
And you have the artifact decks. Mm-hmm. So the sideboards are pretty much, you need either like a third of your sideboard.
Well, no, in many cases the decks are kind of pre-boarded against blue.
So half your sideboard against unfair, and half sideboard against artifacts.
More or less, yeah. That's kind of how it goes. Oath, I think, is fair enough to say is approaching the point where it is at the fourth deck. It is a blue deck, but it wins in a completely different way.
I think it's still a blue.
You're still going to put it under that. I don't think anyone's going to really,
because it's still the same 40 cards, plus and like a different kill condition.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I think that you could have an argument about that. Yeah, it's certainly less homogenized than the other blue decks, to be sure.
There was a deck, the deck that won the Bazaar of Moxen 2 or 3 years ago in the Vintage. He was running Oath of Druids after board. So he was a Tezzeret time Volt deck.
Oh yeah.
And he would sideboard in the
Oath package. Yeah. Wow, there you go. These two players finding their opening hands. Look at that.
Or the other way around. Or the other way around. But I think it was like this.
And let's see here what Karlinski has brought to the battlefield. I'm very happy about the restriction of Lodestone Golem. I'm sure many other Vintage players are. I'm sure many Vintage players also aren't happy about it. Certainly my heart goes out to them. But I think overall it's a good thing. And I think it'll shake up the format as much as this format can be shaken up. Stacks decks aren't going anywhere. They're not over because of the loss of Lodestone Golem. Certainly haven't been hugely represented here at this tournament. But I think the highlight for me so far has been the Humans Fish deck. It's been fantastic, and I'm hoping to see more of that. As we get underway with Jon Matteo leading with the Volcanic Island here. And now it's back to Karlinski. Karlinski, of course, playing a Mentor deck. Mentor, a card that has kind of really impacted Vintage in a huge way. Interesting to hear the criticism of Monastery Mentor. Obviously an obscenely powerful card, but what many Vintage people say about it, the worst thing about the card, Raph, is its colour.
White.
Yeah.
I cast it off a Black Lotus.
You can cast a Black Lotus, but the fact that you're having to play white cards, white mana, is a bit of a liability. You imagine that as a red card, as a super young Pyromancer, and oh jeez.
Or blue?
Or blue. I mean, well, come on.
Well, it has to. I think the best fix for this card is change the white mana to colorless mana.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
Make it a mission to
like
cast.
a thought
And you can't even cast it off Black Lotus.
No, of course not.
That would be the right fix for this card.
That'd be very interesting.
You want to place your win condition. You have to work for it.
Yeah, you have to play the sixth. You have to play the sixth color
off the strip line, off the library.
Yeah.
That's how you have to do it.
Here's Swords to Plowshares targeting Baby Jace. Jace Friend's Prodigy, another card that has kind of supplanted the one or two of the Snapcaster Mages that we used to see floating around Vintage. Usually there was one, often very useful to flashback something, a counterspell, a brainstorm. Obviously an Ancestral Recall if you want to live that particular dream. But right now Mateo happy to deal with Baby Jace with that Swords to Plowshares. Opponent doesn't even gain any life off it. Oh, but here's Baby Jace number 2. Surprising to see that. Haven't seen it adopted as a 4-of, but I'd be interested to see exactly how many Karlinski is playing here.
Like how many swords you run?
The sword split for me over the last time that I've been playing Vintage, I go 3 and 1.
Yeah.
It is a card with surprising level of utility even against combo decks because of things like Oath, because of things like Tinker. If you can answer the Gristlebrand, answer the Blightsteel Colossus, swords
in that particular matchup, how many swords do you keep? Do you keep all 4 just
No,
to...
I think I one, maybe 2.
Because you need to kill the Monastery Mentor too.
Yeah, that's the other thing, and I think I'm going to have to reevaluate this, and I think people moving forward are going to have to think about swords because of the exit of Lodestone Golem as well, because you always needed swords against shops. You had to keep it in, even though it was terrible.
Yeah.
So Baby Jace looks to be getting on without any worries here, and Karlinski with 4 cards in hand.
I love the cards Mateo is holding.
Yeah.
I love that card.
Mateo,
the red card, have you seen it?
I haven't seen the red card just yet. Mateo, particularly a very precise player. I did see him playing before. He killed his opponent with a Jace ultimate. It did take him a long time, but he got there eventually. Fate sealed his stacks of player, I think it was 6 times in a row, and kept each card on top. Yeah. Yeah, it was brutal. When his opponent finally drew the second mana source, which is a Mox Pearl, he's like, "Oh, you left that on top," and then he's like, "Yep," played his deck fade and then took it. So it was pretty brutal here. But Mateo here kicking things off again with a Gitaxian Pro.
Treasure Cruise.
Treasure Cruise is going to be a nice one, but Lightning Bolt, Flusterstorm. I mean, we'll see what Flusterstorm can do here. Generally, it's a nice one.
How do you like Sudden Shock in Vintage?
Sudden Shock, I think, obviously against Monastery Mentor is
a very good way to kill the Mentor.
Very strong indeed. Mateo, though, looking to probably kill that Jace before it can flip.
With a Sudden Shock.
Oh, that's the red card in hand, right?
Card, yeah.
That's what you're getting at, dude. That's the
yeah.
hint that you're getting at. Yeah, I think Sudden Shock, reasonably positioned. But it's going to be Pyroblast instead.
Yeah, he keeps the Sudden Shock for the Mentor.
He knows that the path is clear thanks to that Gitaxian Pro. Yeah. So Jace not going to get to flip here. Or transform, I should say. As a Flooded Strand hits the graveyard of Karlinski.
The problem is that Mateo does not have a second red mana, so he cannot counter the Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise is going to resolve.
And Treasure Cruise resolving and also leaving Karlinski with 2 mana up, which is going to be pretty important. You see all these black border jewels here. Vintage players known for how much pride they take in the presentation of their deck, how much care they have when dealing with their own and other people's decks as well. Mateo, a very respectful player before as well. After stealing that Mox Pearl, didn't even move it to his side of the battlefield, just left it there, allowed his opponent to manipulate it even though it was under his control. And that's the sort of, I think thing that is mandated in this format.
I'm surprised they don't wear ties and suits.
Yeah, it's very, sort of with monocles
it's a gentleman,
and
gentleman
top
game.
hats,
Gentleman
that's
game.
right. Very civilized way to play Magic.
I know what, I would love to see that with like little gloves.
The little white gloves,
white gloves,
top hat and tails, yeah, for sure. Ponder here for Karlinski. He's drawn a Library of Alexandria as well, and with a full grip, that's a great card to have.
Yeah, from not much, the Treasure Cruise got him to a point where he's all business now.
And this is why it's restricted. It's so good. It's drawing 3 cards for 1 mana. I mean, we've seen exactly how good that is across the formats that it was legal in. And in Vintage, it's no different. In Vintage, it's no different at all. Obviously, not quite as good as an Ancestral Recall, but then again, what is? Completely can turn a game around. And Karlinski now looking at a full grip. Going to shuffle with the Ponder as well, which is not where you want to be. So Mateo going to have to find something here. Karlinski a long way ahead on board in cards, generally in a very good position, Raph Levy.
Yeah, but I feel bad for Mateo because he had this one more red land.
Yeah.
Like, more access to red, more what? Once again, if he had access to one more red source,
Yeah.
none of that would have happened.
And now Kalinski with a hand chock full of counters as well. I saw a red elemental blast in addition to time walk, swords to plowshares. So Kalinski's got the tools. He can get things going here. Lightning bolt as well. So a suite of removals, some counter spells as well. 6 cards in hand.
Is that a little of Sanctity or Swords?
The swords to plowshares.
Oh, Ghostly. Oh, is it the Ghostly Prison?
Oh, on the side of Mateo.
Yeah.
I didn't see. Sorry. Let's
Might
have
be
a, let's
Ghostly
have a look.
Prison. This format's full of surprise.
It is. I think it is.
Ghost-
It's not a leyline. Here's Treasure Cruise. I imagine this is going to
Very
get red.
unlikely to.
Very unlikely to resolve. Red Elemental Blast. No, just Flusterstorm. That makes sense. Cash that in while you can.
So he cannot.
Force of Will in Mateo's hand here.
That's not going to do anything. Force of Will cannot.
No, can't counter the well, it can obviously counter one of the copies, but no, Mateo's out of here. Not drawing the 3 cards. But we have a mental misstep.
All right.
Targeting 1
And then he's going to Force of Will to
and force the other one. So man, just breaking even on cards here. So to explain what's going on here, Flusterstorm is cast. The storm triggers. There are 2 copies.
2 copies of Flusterstorm.
2 copies of, so 1 copy.
1 copy and one
and
original.
one original. So basically, it was a spell pierce.
Actually, it's not even. He's not even breaking even. It's 4 cards for 3.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, pretty backbreaking Flusterstorm there, because requiring 2 different counters for the 2 different spells on the stack there. But Mateo does find his next land, and it's back to Kalinski. Ships the turn. Doesn't play the island, holding cards in hand there, so
Draw off.
it can draw off
library.
the library as soon as he plays it.
So would you say now that the game is stabilized?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think Mateo is. I think that Mateo is still a length and a half behind. Monastery Mentor in his hand, I saw there. Oh, sorry, off the ponder, I should say. Mateo mid ponder right now, as it is. And Kalinski, I mean, he can sit there and just see how things develop. That's
He
ready.
actually broke even because he got the Flusterstorm on the deal as well. So it's 4 for 4.
There's a 4 for 4.
So he did break even.
Yeah.
You, Mr. Knight, every year. You got that like.
Bang! Just looked at him like, yeah, 4 for 4, no worries. I just didn't want to correct you, didn't want to make you look like a 4. You don't extend the same courtesy to me, but that's fine.
Oh no! Why would I do that?
No, of course not. Gataxian Probe here, revealing what Kalinski's up to.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's not like falling behind now?
I don't think so. He's drawing 2 cards a turn next turn.
No.
No? Oh, it's another turn away, of
Yeah.
course, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Well, let's see what Mateo can come up with here. It's going to be about what Mateo can put on the board. He does have access to all the information.
When okay, I'm gonna give you an old grandpa story.
All right, give me the old grandpa story.
Do you know the deck, right? We talked about it.
Like the deck.
The deck, yeah. We talked about it when we discussed the
Yeah.
old school. Yeah. So we built the deck back in the days.
Yeah.
We did build the deck.
The deck?
Yeah, we built it.
The deck.
We built it.
Yeah.
And it was good against all the good vintage decks.
Yeah.
But then we built like some Savannah Lions deck.
Yeah.
And like some really like with only guys, only
Yeah.
creatures like River Boas, like River a little after that, but we still playing vintage.
Yeah.
It was beating everything was beating the deck because
I've always thought, like, just smashing with a Goblin Guard in Vintage has got to be good, right?
yeah. And like this is almost what we see. Look at one of these players. They would put like any guy in play.
Yeah.
With any kind of hexproof or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
You just go for the like. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you play Ghost of St. Trafford, what are they going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna bolt? No, you cannot.
No.
You have to counter with the red blast.
It's something, I mean, I love this format, but every time I look at it, I'm like, no, I'm going to play a real deck, but, I mean, isn't this format just stone cold to, like, 1-mana 2/2s? Mateo searches out a Tundra here. And Kalinski has finally deployed that Library of Alexandria. No sense hiding it now that his opponent has seen it with Gataxian Pro.
He's coming back.
Mateo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this format is incredibly swingy. Hugely swingy, of course. There are sequences of draws that can get you right back in the game. Mateo,
It is Ghostly Prison.
It is a Ghostly Prison, so here's a dig through time, and this is a huge card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cards out the bin. called the Double Impulse. And we're going to see Ancestral Call in response. That one snuck through.
Nice
Didn't
draw.
see that one there. Wow, that's a huge one.
And then he's going to be able to draw off the library.
Man, and also the has answers, has backup for that as well. So that we had a look at Karlinski's hand last time. You evaluated as being not very good. That card there has completely turned in the other direction. I mean, the last adjective I just used was swinging, and this is an exact demonstration of that principle.
So now he's going to counter, draw a card with library. This is this is quite the turn.
Yeah. So red Elemental Blast in the hand of Karlinski. Can't cast off the Tundra, so we're going to see a Brainstorm. In response, draw a card. Yep, that's a good way to do it, getting as much information as possible before countering the dig through time. We may see a response from Matteo here. Brainstorm. Draw 3. So that's the sixth card.
This is old business.
Yeah.
How many cards have you drawn this turn?
6.
Seven.
Seven. Yeah. 7 cards. 2 go back on top.
How many mana do you spend? Just 3.
3 mana. And now we're going to see the red, I imagine. Red Elemental Blast, countering the dig through time. And Joan Matteo here has just been absolutely destroyed by the
Silence.
sequence
Just
play. Yeah.
1 minute silence.
Yeah.
That was before. You should have played before.
Swords to Plowshares the draw for Karlinski. They're kind of rotting away in his hand. His hand, which contains about 10 cards. Black Lotus, why not? Crack.
Well, you can't even get his Thought Not Seer here. The library.
And his Monastery Mentor. And we're going to see drawing a card from the library here. Hasn't played a land yet, so trigger prowess from the Emerald, from the Sapphire, I should say. Mox Sapphire, the best of all the Moxes, of course. And we're going to see Time Walk here as well.
To give haste to all these guys.
Yeah. Time Walk. Make a 1/1. Prowess. Anything else?
Probably Bull.
I would imagine the Wear Tear to destroy the Pearl, just for the extra trigger, prowess, and make a monk here.
Make a monkey.
Make a little monk. No, doesn't do it. All right.
It's probably good enough here. Oh, another.
Oh,
mouse.
and another Pearl. Wow, look at that. Jeez. Okay, draw a card. Yeah, draw a card. You saw the 4/3 split of the hand. That's the way it goes. That's the way they count the cards. 8 cards in hand. Gitaxian Probe. Pay life. Make a guy. One prowess trigger. And look at this. I mean, this is just annihilation. And Supreme Verdict in the hand of Yon Matteo. That could have been very, very useful indeed.
Why don't he at least try to counter the Time Walk? Because he knows he's dead to Time Walk.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, the Force could have pitched the
he's not
Supreme
surviving
Verdict
Time
there.
Walk.
Supreme Verdict, the best Roth that's ever been printed, of course.
All right,
And here is the concession. There you go. So that's enough. That's all she wrote for Yon Matteo. But what a pleasure it has been, Raphael Levy. Congratulations to Anton Karlinski on the victory there as we bring it back to the booth, ladies and gentlemen. What a true pleasure it has been to bring Vintage to the people today on the Bazaar of Moxen Annecy stream.
It's the adjective I would use is refreshing.
Oh mate, I tell you what, like a breeze, mate, like a big glass of soda water. I'm absolutely loving it. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your company today. Of course, the party don't stop till cops kick the door in today, but we're looking forward to your company throughout the rest of the afternoon. We're going to line up some more magic for you before very much longer. So stick around. Some more vintage, some more modern. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to take a short break right now. We're going to be back. Get the feature match reconfigured. Get Pierre in here as well. I'm going to take a step out. Get all happening here. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you again very soon. To a champion, Pierre Canale, he's going to come in as well. We'll see you back here at Bazaar of Moxen Annecy before very much longer. Plenty of action still to come. Vintage, modern, it's all happening here. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you again very soon.